Alright, before everyone gets too excited for the bell today, um, and I don't want to rain on anyone's parade, I just want to put things into perspective because there's a lot of fucking YouTubers at it again, and my god, what is with the entertainment shit, man? Guys dressing up and shit in costumes and stuff now, man. Wanting to sing you guys love songs and shit. You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I am saying? You all have created celebrities in these guys, and they are running with that shit. Like, running with it to the point that it's sad to watch, honestly. Um, I honestly, I was initially going to do that. That was going to be my channel when, if AMC didn't, like, start getting fucked with to the degree that it is, and these guys were not delivering the information you guys wanted. I was literally gonna dress up as Batman. I have a badass fucking like Dark Knight $200 Batman suit. The cowl was like fucking $130. And I was literally gonna sit in trade stocks as fucking Batman and act like I'm yelling at Alfred and shit and all kinds of bullshit. It was gonna be a trip. It was gonna be for entertainment. It was gonna be to teach shit about the stock market. And that was what my initial channel was gonna be, an edutainment or entercation, whatever they call it, channel. And then I just saw the complete miscarriage of what you guys should have been told was going on. Um, and like I said, just the carelessness of some of these guys who aren't financial experts, but people were looking to them as if they were and paying them to try to get advice. And no one ever should have been accepting that. No one. The moment someone sent me a super chat and was like, hey, can you tell me what to do with this? I would have sent their money back and said you should put it in a stock and not trade options. That's what you should do. Take your money back, go put it into an actual stock. Don't buy options until you don't have to ask people questions anymore. Like, there's nothing wrong with getting a tip about something or whatever, but if you do, if AMC, if this is your first venture into options, is this scenario, this play, you need to educate yourself way more on options because A, they don't grow at the exponential rate that AMC has. And if some people got some lucky options at the beginning of April, May, and before the June run up, or even in that first week of June, second week of June, if you had a couple of good options that blew up and you made a lot of money, you're under the impression that probably you're under the impression that options just blow up like that. And they don't. They don't. Most stocks don't move in a vast upward fashion like this because it's a squeeze play, and this is eventually going to be gone, and you're going to be in scenarios where you're buying stocks where you need to be legitimately you need to be ready to watch almost the entire value of your shit disappear, be in the red, but you still have 2-3 months left on the expiration, so you don't have to worry about it because you weren't playing it for that short period of time, and there's a lot of time for it to get back up into the green. Um, if for real, legitimately, this is God's honest truth advice right now. If you had never bought an option until this play, until AMC, you need to study. You need to watch videos of legitimate professionals, financial experts. You need to use a program like Thinkorswim, a paper trading app, something to where you're not actually going to lose your money, but you can practice your trading strategies and learn what would happen if you were to trade real money in whatever environment you're fucking around in, and what would happen if you were right or if you were wrong. And then, when you're going to be wrong a lot. And then when you don't understand how you're wrong, you start looking up the answer to the question of how was I wrong here? What did I do wrong here? That's the biggest thing I'm worried about. This is the reason I did not make a funny fucking educational channel, because I watched all of the option shit get thrown around and watched all these people asking all these questions about options, letting me know it is obviously like their first option contract purchase. And that's just rule number one. You should never have to ask about options. You just shouldn't. You should not have to ask. If you have questions about options, you should not be trading them. You just shouldn't be. If you're asking just to learn, that's cool. That's a different story. People should direct you to professional videos and platforms and educational tools to teach you if they are not professionals themselves. Um, I'm getting so worried. Like literally, I'm like, for you guys, that these guys are gonna hype you guys up, and be like, oh, we're in an uptrend. We're in an uptrend, and volume's coming back. I mean, it was here too. A jacked up uptrend only a couple trading days ago, and this was at like 47, and this was when I thought it was peaking around 40. They were going to let it run up to mid 40s, and now we're going to ride 35 to 45 dollar chain here. And based on this and it not getting back down to like 31, 32 area, it may end up be making a move toward the $40 to $50 range that I was anticipating. That may be their new echelon, transitioning from the 30 to 40, mainly the 32 to 37.50 range. And I thought it might be just a tiny stair step, the 35 to 45, but it may end up being the 40 to 50 that they start kind of bouncing it through. It's going to depend on this volume still, the volatility and how it's coming through, what it's looking like. They're still routing orders out. That's known. That hasn't changed. They're still using ETFs. That hasn't changed. So, as far as I'm concerned, this entire thing is still being controlled by them. Nothing has changed that. This is all still them. We control nothing in this. Anything that we do has pretty much no bearing on this stock. There's not enough people over at Fidelity yet. Or maybe that could be what it is. It could be that there is plenty of people that got over there, and there's actually orders now being routed to specific exchanges, and that's fucking with them now. That could be what it is. I know it's not a whole hell of a lot, but as that grows, it continues to grow, and all these new orders don't go to Citadel and all these fuckers, they're going to be in a shitty situation here real soon. I'm seeing dates getting thrown out like the 29th and all kinds of just shit that these motherfuckers, man, they just want you to click on their shit. They just want you to watch their shit. They don't care about your finances. They don't care if you lose money. All they care about is them making money any way they can off of you. And if you don't see that by now, and you can't notice that by how your favorite YouTuber went from actually talking legitimate facts about these stocks, trying to show you at least some sort of relevant information or charting techniques, things like that, just to teach you, to just straight up fucking clown shows, circus shows, putting on wigs and costumes and all that shit now in a play like this. It's not fucking funny, man. Like, this isn't funny, guys. This isn't a joke. This is fucking serious. This is criminal activity right in front of your face with your money being stolen from you by these fuckers. And these other guys want to put on a fucking circus show for you. This shit is not funny. This isn't a fucking game, man. And if it is a game to you, well, I mean, then be prepared to lose. You're going to be really, really sad when the dust settles from this. And you're going to lose a lot of money. I guarantee you that. So please just be careful. I'm noticing some shit. If I were to take this whole chunk here and literally just invert it, flip it up, it would look exactly like this. These are exactly opposite. Friday's buying pressure, well, selling pressure the whole day, is damn near the exact inverse of yesterday's action, which that's them, not us. That is still 100% them controlling this, even though no one's controlling the squeeze. They are right now. What do you call this? What the fuck do you call all of July, the end of June, if no one's controlling it? It's being controlled right now. This shit should have been done squozed, and it's not because it's being controlled. But once again, we have to focus on what we can actually control, not worry about what we can't. I wouldn't be shocked to see some sort of test up here again in the next day or so, just to get you guys to start giving them more money. This went from here all the way down to here real quick. 2 trading days, a straight downward trend, both fucking days. Down over $10. If you bought options up here, it's all gone. Been gone. Unless you bought it months out. And even then, if you bought it months out, you've still lost a lot of money from here to here. And you had guys telling you, oh God, look at this action, oh my God, look at some options, blah, blah, blah. No. Just no. Let's see how this thing unfolds. You're not at fucking $10, $14 range anymore. So in all honesty, that's what you should treat this as. You should treat, the 35 to 45 range as your new $10 to $14 range. You're still waiting for a move. You're waiting for something to happen. When this thing goes, it's going to go past 70. Yeah, options and shit aren't exactly the cheapest right now. But if your homeboys didn't lose you all a shitload of money last month, you'd probably have a few grand from the run-up, or even that first week of June, to buy some of these more expensive contracts. And even if you can't, there are cheap ones that you can get when you start seeing signs like this is going to run up or about to run up or whatever. There'll be cheap ones, so just don't go blowing all your money on fucking options right now, because people are getting you all hyped up, gassing you up, picking dates now, talking about shit that's completely irrelevant, literally irrelevant. Doesn't have anything to do with this shit directly, nothing. That's why I'm not making like 100 videos about shit that's nonsensical. If it doesn't have anything to do with this stock directly, or my thoughts with this stock directly, or some asshole feeding you bullshit information that I don't believe is true, or if I think anyone in this community is misleading you all in any way, I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. I'm going to call them out. I want to protect and save as many of the independent retail investors in this play as I possibly can, because there's a lot of work to be undone in your head from these fuckers. And last month, like, they done fucked y'all all up. For real. So again, this, if you were to invert it, is almost exactly the same as this. So that is another indicator that this is still hedge funds controlling everything going on. This was just a couple days ago, so don't get too froggy because you see it maybe moving up towards 45. It's very possible that the off-exchange orders that are now coming through from Fidelity or whatever fucked them from getting this back down to 31.32. And now they're stuck here. So they may have to move this shit up into like the $40, $50 bouncing range. But we'll see. We got time. Let's wait and see what happens. I'm real curious if the bell, I really am, if the bell's going to hit and this is just going to drop like it did here. We'll see. I mean, even if it does and it finishes down from where it opened, the new trend would still suggest that it's going to start going higher. However they got this shit working, I don't know. Yeah, this is starting to look more and more like this if you were to invert it. The longer it's going on. Alright. So let me hop off here. This is already like 10 minutes longer than I wanted it to be. I just want you guys to You know, be smart about your investment and your investment opportunities. Like this, everyone by now should just have, a nice sized position of holdings that you're comfortable with. You should have, if you have options, they should be far enough out to where you don't have to stress about them. And you should be able to go make money elsewhere in the market where there's money to be made while this shit is doing stuff like this, not doing anything. Like, you can't be sitting here for the entire market looking at just this and not, making any money. You're looking at a chart that is never going to help you in the future. This is literally a chart that will never, ever help you in the future because that big fat ass filing that's 300 some odd pages is never going to allow this chart to exist again. That shit ain't never going down again like that. So that is what that is for. So let's watch this. Don't get too fucking excited. Please don't take out loans or sell shit or pawn shit so that you can buy options, because these guys are convincing you that by week's end we're entering into the squeeze or some shit. I honestly, and no one knows the date. No one can say when it's going to happen because no one fucking knows. But that fat ass filing coming out to help regulate lending and prevent like shit tons of FTDs and naked shorts and all that shit, I'm pretty sure it's got like 40 days left or something before it would officially be enacted on the register. So I would venture a guess that we probably have another solid month-ish or something before we really truly see the squeeze. I'm going to shit on myself if I go look at the exact date that the filing came out, and 45 days from it is 9/11. Like, for real, I'm leaving the country if that's the case. It's already a crazy enough conspiracy surrounding that shit. So, yeah. So, but again, that doesn't mean that that's true. I mean, that shit is in place to literally prevent this from happening again. And I just know that once it is enacted and it is in effect, they're not going to be able to continue to get away with this shit. But that doesn't mean that they're going to try to, they may try to get out of this and this may blow up well before that. No one fucking knows. Nobody knows. Just theories, guys. Just ways that I'm trying to think logically about shit. The different pieces of the puzzle coming out. So, again, don't mean to keep keep you guys on here. I legitimately care about this community. And I personally know that I got fucked over a little bit by listening to these guys in certain aspects when I knew I shouldn't have. And then I started trading opposite of what I noticed they were doing and what they were saying in certain situations, because I was like, man, I'm seeing something completely different than what these guys are saying. Yet they were still saying it and still doing it and still being reckless and careless with money on air. And other people were doing the same, following suit, thinking these guys were making money, and they weren't. Some of them, the ones playing with options, weren't. They were losing a lot of money. And I feel for anyone, especially anyone that, like Coors was who you started watching to begin with, and options is all you maybe spent money on, and you very well probably lost a lot, if not all of your initial investment, if that's how you played it, especially when he just stopped showing his positions and didn't tell anyone that he sold off all of his options. Did you notice that? Did no one notice that? No one talks about it. Nobody talks about it. Matt Core's entire portfolio was 90-something% options throughout this whole ordeal. His whole portfolio, he had like 750 shares. That's it. He got them early, and when they were cheap, the rest of his portfolio was motherfucking options. And then when he got accused of selling off, he threw a bitch fit because he wasn't showing his positions anymore. He's like, I didn't sell off anything. I still have AMC. Yeah, you still have the less than 10% of AMC that your portfolio had. You sold off every one of your other positions, all of your options, and you didn't let your community know, you didn't let your viewers know who are watching you do that, watching you build this gigantic options portfolio. They're buying their first options, asking you fucking questions, trying to get guidance, and you just fucking let them bleed dry. They're sitting there thinking you're still holding your options and shit, and they're holding because you're holding, and I hold because you hold, and all this other whatever, man. That's selling, guys, just so you know, that's selling. Closing all of your option contracts when your portfolio is 90% options, that is selling your fucking shit. That's selling off. That's what selling off is. And I was like, oh yeah, I pretty much don't have options anymore. I only have shares. A guy who was nothing but options. And I just had shares. Yeah. Didn't tell you guys that though, did he? Didn't tell his viewers that, did he? No, he did not. So you guys follow whoever you want to follow. And if you want to keep losing money, keep following these fucking idiots that are making money no matter what. Whether this goes down or up, they're still making money because you keep tuning in to give it to them. So, alright, I'm going to go fucking try to eat some breakfast or something before this bell kicks off. I'll make another video later.